Hello, good people. Samuel here. Hello, hello, hello. All right, here's my L. I made this L for members of a particular online gang who was coming over here trolling and stuff. I made them this little L, but today I got to hold this L myself. All right, I'm going to take this L myself. I made the L for them, but today I have to hold the L. All right. I'm seeing some of my original people from my first channel come over, and I know what they're gonna say. They're not gonna say they're gonna be like, "Aha, we told you about Cynthia G. You used to defend Cynthia G. You used to defend Cynthia G. Now look at how she is." Yes, it's true. I defended Cynthia G. Uh, and what she has become. Although in my defense, I'm not I'm not denying that I have to take my L. I'm not denying that. I've taken the L. But in my defense, the Cynthia G of say 3 years ago was different than this Cynthia G. But I'm going to take the L. I agree that I was a vocal defender of Cynthia G. But you got to understand, at the time, okay, say 3 years ago, she was doing tough love. She was doing tough love. She wasn't doing this, open, outright blackmail hate thing she's doing now. She was doing tough love. And my position is okay, we as black men can't be so sensitive that someone can't give us a critique. This mentality where everyone has to call us kings and all that stuff. I'm not really with the whole, I'm not with the whole king and queen thing. My queen, my king. I'm not with all that. I'm not with all that. So I don't like people calling me king. I'm not a king. Will never be a king. I have no personally living in Africa. I've met several kings. I've seen their lives close up, and it's not really. So I'm a guy who actually like personally know a couple kings. I'm good. Okay, I've always considered myself, and that was like something I will always say in my old channel, an unruly peasant. That's what I am, an unruly peasant. That's how the power structure sees me. Okay, that peasant right there is, he's is uncontrollable. That's how I view myself. All right, so my point was, okay, you can't be so sensitive that someone can't criticize you. And at that time, Cynthia G was doing tough love, in my opinion. And one of her major critiques was, okay, you black men are not doing enough to dismantle white supremacy. You're not pushing hard enough against white supremacy. And in my view, I don't care what anybody else thinks. If you don't have that conversation, you can focus on the behavior of black people, sure. But if you don't like step out and look at the system of white supremacy, critique it, attempt to dismantle it in some ways, what's the sense? So at that time, she was doing tough love that I know many black men did not like, but she was also criticizing and say, hey, you're not really pushing hard enough, in my opinion, against white supremacy. Now this has changed. Okay, the Cynthia G of today is the leader of this kind of anti-blackmail online game. And I know there's some women who say, "Oh, it's a movement, the sovereign women movement, whatever the BWE movement." No, it's not a movement. I'm from Chicago. I know a gang when I see a gang. It's an online gang, and as I've said before, a lot. If your followership or your online community, which is normally just a gang, uh, has no critique of white supremacy, don't discuss that. Yeah, it can be critical of other black people. There's a lot of stuff we need to fix internally. But if you never have a pullback and discuss that overall system, you don't discuss structural racism. It's just black women ain't shit, black men ain't shit, so and so immigrants ain't shit. If that's your online gang, then I'm not really with that. So that's what she was doing. Okay. So the Cynthia of Cynthia G of 3 years ago was not this Cynthia. Not this Cynthia. And what I think happened, I don't know her. I can't look inside her head. Is the real haters are very supportive. The hardcore haters, they are very supportive. Very supportive. Okay. So if you're giving them the content that they desire, that when I finish work, I want to open up this I want to open up my YouTube. I want to check in on YouTube and I want to see my content, my hate content. If you're willing to do that, you can find a very loyal group of supporters. Take about those clowns. Let's go to the manosphere. All right, give you an example. Those clowns, what, Fresh and Fit? Now, many other men in the manosphere have been exposing them that they don't really live, especially what's the guy from Barbados, the black guy? The other guy, he's not black. All right, I don't care what anybody say. That's a northern Sudanese. All right, he's not a southern Sudanese. There's that racial aspect. That's what led to the Civil War. Okay, so stop. They're not two brothers. There's one brother, and then there's that other guy. All right, that's the facts. Okay, Sudan is divided among the north with the Arabs and the south with us. Okay, so the black guy. Now they've exposed him repeatedly. You criticizing so-called 304s or these type of horticulture, whatever you want to call it, but look at who you're dating. Okay, so you're just engaging in a performance. So they've been exposed by other members of that manosphere. But their supporters don't abandon them because there's a core that likes that content. Where okay, I bring in a pretty girl. I'm gonna make sure the pretty girl has nothing inside her head, and then at some point, if she says something out of line, I'm gonna like humiliate her and kick her off the side. There's a core of black men in general, who enjoys that. So they don't care if you live in a lie. They're going to support that because they need that. They need that content. The same with Cynthia G. At some point, I think she discovered that there are black women that need that anti-black male content, and they're the most supportive, and they're willing to give the money. They're willing to give the super chats. They are willing to support. So over the years, she drifted to just pumping out that content because that keeps her from having to go outside and get a job. Now, I'm not saying if you're a full-time YouTuber, that's not a job, because it is. But you understand my point that eventually you can be doing content and a group of haters can be drawn to your content. And then because you notice that particular group is really rocking with you, supporting you. Oh my God, I don't have to get up at 9 or 8, 6 and get to the job. I can actually just do editing and find content. And so you eventually start drifting over to that. And that's my theory. That's my theory. Okay. All right. So I've taken the L. That's the end of this video. Hey, if you know what, talking without actually action is useless. So look down in the description box. There's an opportunity for you to participate in small little acts of activism. If you're interested, check that out. If you haven't subscribed, do that. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.